Hey, it's Joe Amoia, the Smarter Dating Guy. Got another question for you. Are you throwing a pity party for yourself, but you're the only one there? If you were to look at your life as if you were an observer, would you see that you're so focused on the past and all the things that have gone wrong or all the ways you've got screwed that you're simply not happy and you're not fulfilled? But more importantly, you're not real optimistic about the future. Now, I can't say that I blame you. There was a time in my life where I felt the same exact way. And I was so focused on the past and what happened that I couldn't focus on going forward. And if I thought about going forward, it wasn't a pretty picture because I was basing it on my past. So I'm going to give you 3 little tips today that can help you to learn how to stop throwing that pity party and start throwing yourself a passion party. And it will make you really more optimistic and really more fulfilled about where you're going. So the first tip is to stop looking in the rearview mirror. Now imagine if you were driving your car and you just kept looking in the rearview mirror. What's going to ultimately happen? That's right, you're going to crash. Okay? There is no way you can keep looking in the rearview mirror and not see what's ahead of you, because ultimately the road is going to turn, or you know what, there may be an obstacle in the road or some kind of barrier. And if you're not aware of it, you're not going to be able to go around it or do what you need to do to make the necessary changes. And so you got to learn to take your eyes and your focus off of the rearview mirror and focus on the road right in front of you. And the second tip is you got to stop worrying about the future. Now, I'm not saying that you don't prepare and that you don't do certain things that will help you to function and go forward. But if you're constantly worrying about the future, about if this happens or that, it's a funny story. I've got this aunt, and I love her to death. She's got the biggest heart in the world, but she worries about everything. If she hears that there's a tornado in the Midwest, she's like, don't go out of your house. And it's amazing is that for as long as I've known her, all the things she's worried about and she's tried to warn us about, not one thing has happened. And so, in life, there are things that are going to be happening. There will be tornadoes. There will be devastating effects. But all you can do is simply live your life and know that if these things do happen, that you'll do whatever you need to do to deal with them. And so I'm not saying that, there haven't been things in your past that have happened to you that have been really crappy. But I believe those things are really gifts. And that's the third tip, is be grateful for those devastating things that have happened in your life. And I know at first glimpse that it's kind of hard to do that. But I want you to look back at, something that's happened in your past. And as you look at it now that you're years down the road, really see the good that has come out of it. Maybe you've had your heart broken, but maybe you've learned that, you had to go through that to see things differently. Or, maybe you gave so much to a relationship and you realize that, you've got to put yourself first. I always believe that there's no such thing as a mistake in life. I call them expensive learning experiences. And so if you look back at those expensive learning experiences and you learn to be grateful for them, and that's the third tip, what you're going to realize is that your life is going to be so much easier, because there's a negative energy that's associated with pessimism. But when you look back on those opportunities as gifts and you see them as the possibilities for you to learn and grow, it frees you up to move forward and to go and create the exact results you want. So I hope these tips helped. As always, I'd love to hear your feedback. If you know someone who's, throwing a pity party of their own, feel free to pass this along to them. And again, I wanted to remind you of this great call we're doing next Tuesday. I know so many of you out there are struggling, and I know you're worried that it'll never happen for you, or maybe you think that, you're not good enough as you are. And I totally get it. We've all been there. But I promise you that when you learn to step into your power and you do things just a little differently, some really cool things can happen. So I'm putting together a call where I've got three women who've got three amazing stories of where they were and the crap that they went through and how they all wanted to give up, or how they all believed it wasn't going to happen for them. And now some really, really cool things are happening for them. And some of them have really found love. And so I'm putting this call together because I want you to understand that it is possible. You can have it. You will have it. But you got to do some things a little different. You got to do them smarter. So you've been getting the emails for that. Look at the details. Again, it's next week. And hopefully you'll join us there. Again, have a great day. God bless.